Today I'm going to show you how to do brakes on this 2018 Kia Sorento. Tools you're going to need for this job are 21mm socket for the lug nuts, 14mm socket for the caliper bolts, and a 17mm socket or wrenches for the brake pad holder. Pry bar to help you get the caliper up, a bungee cord, which I tossed over there, and a C-clamp to compress your piston back together. Also, for the pesky screws on the rotors, an impact screwdriver is a lifesaver. That's pretty much it. You don't necessarily have to have an impact, but they're nice. Parts we're going to be using today are from Detroit Axle. You can order them online, have them shipped to your door. I use them on absolutely everything that I have. I am not being paid to say this, and I'll put links in the description to them. I will earn money if you do buy those parts, but I completely stand behind them. I use them on absolutely everything. Love their parts, love their prices, love their service. Stuff comes quick. 21mm for the lug nuts. After pulling the wheel, you're going to want to pull the caliper, have a bungee cord ready to support it. Caliper bolts are 14s. Now if you're lucky, it'll slide right off. This one doesn't want to play that way, so we're going to need a small pry bar. Plus I was pushing on the wrong thing. I know what I'm doing, I swear. But nonetheless, she's a little tight. Not bad. I've met worse. Next thing we'll do, we'll pop the pads off. You've got these little retainers. If they're missing, it really doesn't matter. But those go right in the top of your pads. You can then pull your pads out. Just throw that on the floor. You don't need that one anymore. Outside doesn't look horrible. Inside's actually got quite a bit left on it too. Wow. I like to turn the wheels. Makes it a little easier to get that retainer off. Wow, this pad is just like stuck. That's wild. I don't even understand. This one's the first for me. Oh, wow. That thing was just like seized in there. You see where right there? That kind of matches on the rotor. All right, seeing how we're doing rotors too, we're gonna pull the pad holder here. Oh, I don't know, 17? 17's a winner. If you leave that one in, it won't fall off when you take the other one out. It appears that we got some washers here. Now we also got these stupid screws over here. I'll bring you down so you can see what I'm talking about. So those have to come out before the rotor comes off. They can be a pain, but I have a trick for it. So this is called an impact screwdriver. Now, watch here. If you grab the end and you turn this like I want to loosen something, it puts it in loosen mode. Or if I turn it like I want to tighten something, puts it in tighten mode. So we're going for loosen. And all you simply do is put it into that screw, put a little pressure on it, and give it a hit. And it works almost every time. If this doesn't work, you can drill them out. It's fine to run without these. Once I break them loose, I like to switch back to a regular screwdriver. It's just more ergonomically correct. Don't want to be getting carpal tunnel over here, do we? And then your rotor should just be stuck on. You know, a little whack like that. If you're replacing them and that's being stubborn, you know, little whack on the back of it. If you're not replacing them, you know, you don't want to do that. I will put links to everything in the description that I used, from the brake parts to different tools that'll make this job easier or doable for you. And if you purchase them, I do earn a little bit. I appreciate it if you do, but if not, just thanks for watching. The other thing we do need to do is press that guy down, so we can do that right now. And I'm just gonna grab one of the old pads, like that. Open up my C-clamp here, like this. We're just gonna press this piston back down in. You can, maybe should. To be honest, I've never seen an issue with it. But with the ABS systems, it doesn't hurt. Open up the bleeder, or not the bleeder, the master cylinder reservoir. There's a lot of ways to do this. They make special tools. You can push them in. Other ones that you would turn a wrench and do it. And sometimes I even use, I got these wood holder things that just clamp down. Those work pretty good too. All right, now we're gonna go through our brake pad holder. First thing we're gonna do is pop off the old pad holders here, or brake hardware, whatever you want to call it. This pad was seized right in there, hardcore. Now I believe they are they different? So you wanna make sure that they are all the same. Sometimes there's front, back, or however you want to say it, just different sides. So those look the same. I like to at least give it a little wire brush here. So I'll just get in and clean on it a little bit. Pop our new hardware on. You'll see that they got these fancy little tabs. I like to bend them up a little bit, you know, keep them from walking and such. Make sure that these are moving freely. If not, you're gonna have to pop them off and lube them up. These are moving nicely, so we're not gonna mess with them. Now, this is gonna be the inside pad. The inside pad gets the one with the squealer on it. We will, however, use a little lube. And we'll put some grease right on this surface right here. All right. Just enough so it's sitting in there. Then we'll grab one of the other pads. And always make sure your crown is up. People love to just throw these things on upside down all the time. You'll find out before you go to put it all back together that you were wrong. This guy is now loaded. Put the safety on. Grab our new rotor and our brake parts cleaner. First thing I do is put it on backwards. I didn't figure this out myself. Somebody showed me. And spray this thing down. See, they ship it with like oils on it so it doesn't rust. Flip her over. Now you want to make sure that those holes are lined up where they need to go. So my bolts are right there. And my screw holes are right there. I'm going to go ahead and start those now. One, so I don't forget them, but two, it does actually make it a little easier. There's a backup plan for the stuck rotors. These things are actually threaded, so you could thread a larger bolt into it and push the rotor off rather than whacking it with a hammer. Now, same thing though, when I'm putting these on, I like to use that impact so I don't mess up the screw heads. So now I'm gonna turn it to the right to tighten it. Just one whack. That's good. Grab our pad holder and a bolt, I generally like to start with the top one. You're just gonna slide this guy down in. Should have enough room. You might need to adjust your pads a little bit if it's not quite lining up. Come on, find your home. Once one of them is in, the other one is a bit easier to line up. You're just gonna pull in and out, usually out a little bit because it'll, you know, gravity. Turn them in as far as you can by hand. This is nice, you know, working on almost new cars. Give this thing a little rat-a-tat with that. Sure, there's a torque spec. I'll put it in the description, but I've been doing this for a long time and not necessary here. Torqued. Now we'll pinch your pads in the best we can. Now, some people like to put grease on the back of these. I'll do it. Really help keep the rust down, if not for any other reason. But also sometimes you can get like a chatter or a squeal, you know, vibration against these. So this can help. Disconnect our bungee. Caliper needs to go back on just like it was. You'll notice that this thing isn't all kinked up and everything. You could mess that up. You might have to push these in a little bit as you're going on with it. Now we'll do our caliper bolts. And just like the last time, I'm gonna go after the front or the top one first. Pick up on the back of here or the bottom. Now I'll do this one with the hand tool, because the bolts are a little smaller. You want to watch this. If this spins, you're going to have to hold it with a wrench. Now we're just going to put this wheel back on and we're good to go. Retrieve your bungee cord. Don't leave it in there. The other side's exactly the same, and it's a little bit tighter on that side of the shop, so I'm not going to do that in this video, but it's exactly the same. The only difference between the two sides is really the calipers. There's a right and a left. Bleeder always goes up. Thanks for watching. We'll see you later.